for the heat number 3. It was a tough heat, and good luck for the next heat. And I'm out.
Any last
Give
words? I
him.
mean, last words. I know you said some earlier, but
Um, boa sorte para todos os brasileiros. Thanks for tuning in, and let's keep going all the way through today.
all
See
right,
what happens.
you got it. All right.
Okay, thanks, Manny.
Thanks, brother.
It's
Good luck in your
always
heat number 6.
Okay, thank you.
All right, later, brother.
Here, Benny.
Okay, ciao. Oh. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The results for heat number 3, round number 1. Omri Laverne in first, Lucas Varela in second. Both of those guys advancing on to round number 3. As you see, Andrew Lester having a disastrous heat out there, not finding the waves, and he's going to come. He's going to come back to. He's going to come back to the drawing board and try to figure out what happened. The riders have some conditions to contend with, but right off the bat, heat number 4 out in the water. That was Blue with a nice clean roll. Kalani Latanzi, this is his home break. Now, in the hot seat for heat number 4, we have Ben Player. Ben Player, you won your first heat.
Yeah,
and you
mate.
are a happy camper. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, Manny. How are you? Hi, everyone. Yeah, well, I'm pretty stoked to make that heat. It's really tough conditions out there. It's pretty big. Like, you might not be able to capture how big it actually is, but there's like 10-foot sets that are kind of washing through every so often, and it's as heavy as hell. Like, it's such a powerful wave. It's like surfing Waimea shore break, cross, say, pipeline or something like that. So
There's no channels.
No channels, and you just got to run the gauntlet. You catch a wave and you try and paddle back out, and you could potentially get like a 10-foot wave on the head.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
So, I mean, when you duck under one of these big bombs, what's going on underwater? I mean, can you describe
Well,
that
it just
for him?
picks you up and just throws you into so much turbulence. Like there we got Moz on the big screen. He's a warrior, like he's such a fit dude, and the reason why he probably progressed so easily in that heat is he's just so well equipped for these conditions. Like the guy trains non-stop, does jiu-jitsu non-stop. He's one of the fittest guys I know, and that's kind of exactly what you need because it is so powerful underwater. It's got so much strength that it tries to rip you around in circles and circles and circles, and you got to try and use your energy to kind of combat that and stay level so you get to come up as soon as you can. Because if it gets a hold of you and pushes you down, like you can be down for a long time. Like the other day I was surfing out here and came up just before the next wave, like got another breath in.
How shallow is it when the medium-sized waves comes into the inside?
Yeah, it's so shallow. Like in my last heat, I got a wave on the head like that. And just threw me straight on the bottom of my face, and got a bit of a scratch on my eye from it.
Oh, damn.
Like it's like that guy just then. We call that a jack in the box when you kind of pop out the back like that, and it's got so much power. And it's not just like a test of who's the best wave rider in these conditions. It's also a test of who's kind of who's the most kind of in tune with the ocean and who can predict where it's going to be going and all the currents and stuff. And here we got Alex Urunga taking off in white, looking for a barrel. Unfortunately, running away from him a little bit too fast on that one. But yeah, like he's no stranger to these kind of waves either. Been seasoned competitor in Hawaii and places like that, along with guys like Dave Winchester in this heat. And every heat's pretty stacked. You got a bunch of good guys, and in this heat we got Kalani as well and Chase O'Leary, and they're all really good competitors as well. So it's pretty exciting to see, the level of talent that's kind of coming through on the world tour at the moment, and guys that are willing to push it and, kind of put their lives on the line. Like, you can actually get seriously hurt. And we saw that with that heat before with Pierre. And he hit a right air section, and he just went big as. Like, for me, like, I think that was just ridiculous because there was no way he was going to handle it. But he just went for it, put his balls on the line and tried to do it, which is great for you spectators. But for us competitors, it can also mean, like, a risk of serious injury.
The end of your 2012 run.
Exactly. So it's kind of tough sometimes. And, so these guys, as you can see, they're sitting quite far in. The thing about Itacoatiara, that's quite hard to pronounce for English-speaking people, by the way.
Yeah.
Is like you got kind of like the outside ones break a lot further out, and the inside ones are the ones you want to get because they stay open-faced and gives you an opportunity to do a lot more moves. So that's why those guys are sitting right there, right on the back of this little section.
But when you're sitting there, you're also risking the chance of getting one on the head from these,
Totally.
3 sets.
Yeah, like a 10-foot one on the head, which everyone's kind of getting beatings with. So it's pretty scary. And in a couple of heats before, in the second heat of this round, Jake Stone, in the last kind of minutes of the set, got a massive one on the head and got washed the whole way in.
I mean, there was a couple minutes where he was just paddling and not moving, and he was right next to the rocks. And there was a second there that looked like he was just going to get knocked into the rocks. So I mean, heavy conditions here for round number 1, main event round number 1.
That's right.
Um,
It's like I guess
it's good too because the trialists they had to go through this and
Yeah.
even more hectic conditions. So
Yeah,
it's good
that's
to have
right.
the top 24 out there to get a little taste of.
it is kind of only fair, I guess. And like I felt really sorry for the trialists having to compete in those conditions the other day. Like it was big, it was gnarly, it was onshore, it was raining. Pretty much every single part of surfing that you don't want. You know, everyone loves it when it's sunny, when it's perfect, and you know all that kind of stuff. And yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't really like that.
All right, Ben, we do have the winner of the last heat with Alex Leone. Alex, where you at, brother?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, down here with that last heat winner, Maury Laverne. Mozza, sensational barrel in that one, mate, to kick off your campaign.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked there. It was pretty tough out there, and I checked a few left over there. I was thinking maybe is there that I'm going to sit, and this first wave, yeah, pretty surprising. I thought I'm going to hit it, and then that barrel came, and I thought maybe I'm not going to make it. And I just made it at the last seconds. And after I didn't have, that was my first wave in like 20 minutes, only waves I get, and I got just on the inside one after to get my second waves. Pretty tough out there. You feel really small in this blue mountain.
And it looks like it's pretty big out there. Give the viewers a little judgment of how big it actually is when you're out there.
Yeah, it's 8 foot, 10 foot sets, and pretty heavy with that rip. Like especially on the right side of the beach, it's get pretty gnarly. You don't want to get a set of the head. So I think today it's going to be a physical contest, and we're going to see which people really understand the sport, understand the currents, and can handle this big beach break.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, it's all about fitness today, isn't it? It's all against fitness with the other competitors.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fitness and how you see the sport and how you watch it. It's changed so fast with the tide, and now the wind is a bit stronger. But I think we need this, and so good luck to all the guys.
Yeah, you want to say a shout out to Reunion Island?
Yeah, salut les gars. Bah là c'est le grand jour quoi, et voilà demain ça devrait être meilleur les vagues. Et merci pour vos bonnes ondes et voilà nous retrouve bientôt sur la île. You.
Back to you, Manny, in the booth.
Yeah, guys. Hey, how you going? It's not actually Manny, it's Ben, and there we got Winchester.
Oh.
Getting straight back into it. Nice. Oh, my.
Oh.
Did you see that, Manny?
Hold on, people. Non-stop action. Winnie,
Oh.
you're all right, brother.
Wow, that was heavy. And that's exactly what happens out here. It's so heavy, and it's so much kind of chaos going on underwater. And if you get caught by that whitewash one single bit, it'll lick you, just like Dave Winchester's got licked on that last one. And yeah, it's quite
So
heavy.
nobody is safe out there.
No one is safe. No one at all. And including locals. Like, we got Kalani, who's in this heat, and he's a local out here, and, you know, he's not even safe. And he surfed it much bigger than this. Like, I actually heard a story the other day that Kalani was surfing this massive a couple of years back and had to get rescued by a helicopter. You know, like, the guys are pretty crazy down here. They surf it massive, like 15 feet, and give it their all and charge quite a lot. So it's really cool to have those guys here and, you know, displaying bodyboarding the way it should be. And here we got a replay of this looks like Alex Urunga to me. And that
This
looks
was
like a
happening
nice
during
wave.
the interview.
Wow, look at this one. That's a clean section. Beautiful takeoff.
Holding on.
Look at that. It's just sucking out so nice. Great
Nice.
line.
Oh, claiming
Oh, look at this. I think
What?
it's going to close out on him.
it.
Good effort, though, anyway, Alex. Yeah. Alex is a great surfer. He's really, really talented bodyboarder, so he's showing every bit of that skill just to get a line into that wave because that's really hard to do. Yeah, so it's really cool to see, like, kind of the level of performance that the local guys are doing here and pushing it more and more and more. And here we got a couple of guys having a bit of a paddle, unfortunately getting stuck in the rip. And Manny, that's a big problem out here is you get these currents after a big wave like I guess like Alex has got, you get these massive currents. Oh, and here we got another replay that happened during the break. Chase O'Leary hooking into this pit.
Nice.
That is nice. That's a clean barrel.
I think he actually claimed that one.
Oh,
He's like, yeah, boy.
look at him.
Yeah, boy.
Thinks he's a breakwall in Port Macquarie there where the lad's from. It's a little right-hander in Port Macquarie in Australia, and he's pretty well practiced on these right-handers, so definitely a pretty talented bodyboarder. But yeah, as you see right there, that's one of those rips that I was talking about. And after a set kind of comes through, it just sucks out like that. And it's really hectic. And here we got Winnie on the replay of this roll we just saw earlier. Really nice line into it.
Nice.
It's a big projected roll.
Clean.
Clean. And I'd dare say the judges will count that as a make. Yeah, they definitely will.
Oh, but right there, he just got eaten up by. I mean, there was a little double up right there, and he was on top of it. The whitewash from the second wave just grabbed him.
Oh, yeah. There's like a little mini white truck just coming up his ass and taking him over and running him down.
Well, Dave Winchester didn't hurt him too bad. He's back out there in the
Yeah.
lineup, and here we are once again. Round number 1, heat number 4, 40-minute heats, non-elimination round, 12-wave maximum. Top 2 waves are being scored out the back.
Yeah, and so this is Kalani having a bit of a paddle.
Uh-oh.
Looking at this right. Oh, that's a
Oh, no.
big roll. That's big roll.
Okay.
Putting it on the line for that one. Manny, do you reckon he's going to pop out of that?
No, you can see right there who's already caught behind the whitewash right there.
Yeah.
And his timing was a little off right there. May have gone up a little bit too early
That's
where he
right.
tried to force it over. Yeah, and unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Kalani Latanzi to pull that off.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you saw those last the placings just recently with looks like Winnie was winning the heat. And here we got Chase having another paddle on this right. That's
Oh,
another nice
clean one. Is he coming out of that one?
Oh,
He's kind of deep.
he could. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Where's he at?
Oh, mate, he must have just got just pipped right there at the end on that little pinch. See, he's going into a little rip right there.
Oh.
And that's, like I said, that's a big problem because it messes with the wave faces, makes it really choppy, and really hard to get a clean line through. So you got to be really aware where these rips come out and make sure you stay well away from them. Away from them, I should say.
Well, you've been down in the water, and you've been on the beach, you've been on the cliff, you've been in the competitors' area. What about these winds? What's going on?
Well, the problem is with this area here, you got these massive, big, beautiful hills all around here. So, like any kind of area like that, you get swirling winds. Like the wind could actually be offshore right now, but the way it kind of like swirls around the mountain to make it onshore. So, it's probably just swirling around these mountains and going from offshore to onshore to offshore to onshore. My little local wave at home is actually like that. It's called Whale Beach, and yeah, it just swirls onshore sometimes, even though it's an offshore breeze because the way it sucks around the mountain. And here we got, Chase in the lead with a 7.38 and a 2.68. That's a pretty nice scoring wave. A 7.38 is a comfortable lead. And Kalani is in second place with a 5.25 and a 2.4. 5.25 is a keeper. He needs to replace that 2.4. And here we got Dave Winchester with a 6.25 for that roll we saw earlier. Doesn't currently have a second wave and only needs a 1.4 to advance up into second place. And then we've got Alex Urunga with a 2.33 and a 1.45. Not really looking like any keepers thus far. Probably got the 2.33 for that late drop he took into the barrel with the claim. Even though like he didn't make that wave, the judges still liked that he could bottom turn that. And here we got Jeff Hubbard and Doodoo, local legend. Doodoo back there.
Man, he's
getting
cut,
ready. Oh
dude.
no, look at this guy.
Jesus.
Oh, Jeff, get your top off, mate. Come on. We want to see it. Yeah, so these guys are getting ready. This is going to be a really exciting next heat. And we also got Michael Novi and Thomas Rigby, both Australian guys going out in this heat. So the level of talent's really high in that heat, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do.
I love round number 1 because that's where you see, like, every heat could be a final.
It's so true.
It's amazing to see round number 1 go down in the water because that's when everybody's going to finally, get out there, loosen up the muscles, and get rocking and rolling.
That's right. But that's pretty much every heat, in these conditions. It's gnarly. Like, you could get anyone. And sometimes it's just luck of the draw who you pull. Like, you can just get someone that's just absolutely on fire on the day, and you can't compete against a guy like that. Like, even though everyone can be the same kind of talent pool. Oh, hang on. Speaking of talent, we got Dave Winchester. Oh, this is a heavy one. He did pretty well to get around that. There was a lot of chop in that face. He's looking for a nice little roll on the inside here. Just something pretty cash to get a bit of a score. And he does that. And, that's a bit of a score. It's not going to be a high score, but it's going to be his second scoring wave right now. And it would definitely push him up into a second place because all he really needed at that point was only nothing, or 1.4. So definitely get that. And so this is pretty exciting, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going down, and we got Chase O'Leary right here having a bit of a drive into this right-hander, looking for a roll. That was nice. The judges really liked that because it was a seamless bottom turn into the section and pops out on the foam.
He's finding these nice little corners down the beach right here, Chase O'Leary. But back to Dave Winchester. There's something that's missing out of his achievement awards, and that's a world title. 2005,
right.
2007, you were world champion. How close, or do you see that determination that you've had in those 2 years? Do you see it in Winchester?
I totally do. He's a different competitor though, Dave. Like he's a much different guy than I am. Probably more of a guy that I'd prefer to be actually. Like he's a bit of a legend, and everyone kind of likes him, and he's just such a tranquil kind of guy. But he's so talented. I mean, level of dedication, man. You look at that. Like he's dropping on an 8-foot bomb, just bumping through this thing, trying to get anything he can get. Like he wants it. He wants it in his own way. A couple of the Aussie guys call him the duck because he looks really tranquil on the surface, but he's going hard at it under the water, and that's exactly what he's like. So, he's like comes across as being the most mellow kind of tranquil guy, but he always seems to make it work, and he's trying really hard down there, down below under the water there. And yeah, his current ranking is first. And I think he's got every bit of level of talent in order to win this year's World Tour. And I'm right behind him, to be honest with you. Like, he's a great mate of mine, and if I don't win this year, I'd love to see him win. He's a deserving world champion if he does win this year. Along with everyone, a lot of people are.
Yes,
I know.
yes,
I
yes.
don't mean to take anything away from anyone, but when someone's been so close so many times and they don't get there, you got to think they're really deserving. And here's the guys, Tom and Dudu, getting ready for the heat. We've got a couple of long sleeve rash vests for these heats, which is a little bit unique. Never really seen that before, but
Well, what's the advantage and disadvantage of having a long sleeve?
I don't really see advantage. I just more see disadvantage because you
Okay.
don't want all that extra rash vest getting in the way. Especially in heavy conditions like this, because they balloon up and they capture water and stuff like that. But a couple of guys are talking about bringing some scissors down tomorrow and cutting the arms.
Yes.
I don't know
I
how
think we
well
have
that'll
some
go
here
down.
now.
Oh, do you? Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, it's in a way, I guess it's really good for the judges because there's a lot more colour in order for the judges to see. But look at Tom Rigby. He is colour coordinated right there. Yellow, yellow, yellow. And we've got Jeff in red, obviously the favourite. And
That's
he should be because
Renato
he
in the
rips.
background.
Yeah, Renato. Ripping brother. Oh, and here we got Jeff having to pose for a little bit of a photo.
Wait a second. How does Groms get in there?
He doesn't really want to do this, I don't think. Like before you heat, you just kind of want to stay focused and get out there. And
I think he just told him that.
yeah, he's like, pee off, kids. Come back later.
I think, well, you know what? The security's been very, very good here. I mean, I get asked to see my blue wristband every time I come up the stairs. How did those kids get in there?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. But you get asked for that because you look a bit of a local with your dark skin, mate. Naturally gifted brown skin, unlike us Aussies who just get weathered with the strong sun and white skin. Geez, there's some blessed human beings here in Brazil, I'll tell you what.
Yes.
There's good-looking people everywhere, which kind of sucks when you're a white, weathered man like myself. It's all good though. I didn't come here for that. I came here for the waves and for the competition.
There you go. There you go.
And it's providing for the boys and girls. Like although it's like big, although it's gnarly, it's still a display of what bodyboarding's all about. And this is an element of bodyboarding. It's watermanship and going against the ocean, Manny.
All right, Ben. It looks like there is a lull in the action out the back. Whoa, sorry, out the back. So we're gonna be back right after this.
Back.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to the 2012 Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, USEC.com and net. Manny V holding it down here in the hot seat with Ben Player. Ben, the conditions are insane. Round number 1, heat number 4, 21 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. How are we looking?
Yeah, that's right. The conditions are insane. We've got Chase O'Leary currently in the lead with a 13.13 total. They're both two good scoring waves for a good tube and a good roll. And then we've got Dave Winchester in second place. Both pretty good scores in these conditions and in a pretty comfortable second position. And then we've got Kalani Latanzi in third place. He's currently on a 7.65 and needs a 5.21 to advance. And then we've got Alex Urunga in fourth place, needing an 8.12, which is a pretty big score. But this is a this is a non-elimination round, I should say. And so if you get third or fourth in this heat, it does not really matter because you're still going to advance into the next round. And then you're going to have Mortal Kombat kind of die or pass kind of level stage. And that's really when you see a good level of riding coming out because guys aren't going to surf half-assed heats. They're going to go hell for leather and in order to pass on to the next round.
You've been talking to the director, Alex Leon, and the other competitors. I know they're always a little conference on whether to go forward or not. What I asked GT, but he was still not sure. Round number 2, are we going to see that today?
I heard before over the loudspeaker that they said it's not going to go on. I personally don't hope it's going to go on, but you never know what these guys want and what the viewers out there want. You guys probably want to see it happen in these kind of conditions because there's a bit of a bloodbath kind of arena where guys can get seriously injured, and you're not sure what might happen. It's quite exciting, I guess, because it's not a perfect reef break, and you can just get some amazing waves like this one shaping up. That's a nice wave.
Oh.
If someone had been a bit deeper on that, that's a big scoring wave in these conditions. Someone could have got a nice barrel on that.
Well,
Unfortunately, everyone opting not to go it. Dave Winchester is probably got priority there, I'd say, looking by the looks of it, and holding position. Probably trying to keep the other two guys off these waves to a certain degree in order to maintain his second position and pass on into the third round.
we are going to run round number 1 all the way through to heat number 8, and it sounded like we're going to hold off on round number 2. So if you are watching live right now, this is it. Up and riding, Kalani Latanzi.
This looks like a nice wave. A bit of a section coming in for the lad. Big rollo.
There you go.
That was nice. That's the kind of score he needed.
Look how much power is still like behind him.
Oh, so much power. And he only needed a 5.21, so it's quite exciting to see what the judges might give that, because they might definitely give that a 5.21. It's probably one of the bigger rolls of the heat, and definitely a chance to get that score. In these kind of conditions, a roll is a pretty good move because, there we go, Winnie using his priority, taking off on this one. Nice clean face, green face, which the judges love, and nice section too.
Oh, can you hold
roll,
on to
Winnie.
that? Can
Come
you hold
on,
on
buddy.
to that?
Come on, world champion, come on.
Oh,
Yeah, world champion. Yeah, kick world champion. Yeah. And here we go, Chase O'Leary. Nice little drive into that. Unfortunately, the barrel kind of shuts down on him, and he's going to do a nice roll, I dare say. And, he needed to, his second scoring wave right there was a 5.75. I doubt he's going to get that. But Winnie's second scoring wave was a 4.2, and he probably will get that higher score than that. So that's going to extend his second place, if not put him up into first place. And then we've got Kalani's score still yet to drop for that roll. So, yeah, exciting times. There might definitely be a situation change here, but who knows, yeah.
Well, we got viewers from all over the world tuning in. Australia, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning on the west or east coast, and it's still late night in some of the areas, and they're still tuned in. And also, we have Portugal. It's Sunday afternoon over there. Claudio Martino is tuning in from Lisbon, Portugal, and they just got home from work, tuned in to see PLC take out the Brazilians, and now he's going to sit back, tune in, and have a beer and watch this.
And here we got a replay of Kalani for that roll wave he got. It's a nice clean bottom turn. The judges will like this. Catches it just there a little bit, but that's a nice roll. Goes through the lip a little bit. Awkward landing, but he does manage to push out of it there. The judges will count that as a make. So that'll be a nice scoring wave. And here we got Chase, replay of Chase's wave in yellow. As you can see, he's probably thinking flip, but it kind of comes down on him and resorts to doing a roll on the inside. Not a great scoring wave, but keep him busy, which is always good. And, going back to that comment by Claudio. Hey, Claudio, how you going, buddy? Good to write up on the Facebook website. And I noticed that you right behind PLC, who is pretty much Portuguese now, and there's that whole Brazilian-Portuguese rivalry there, so that's showing through there. And here we got Winnie going through the motions of that last wave with a big air roll.
Oh.
That's a nice air roll.
So
big
what's going
extended
on right
section.
here where we don't see him?
You pretty much, you don't know whether you're above the water or under the water. You just try to kind of keep your body as rigid and stiff as possible, just so you don't sink, so you extend your surface area. And here we got Alex Urunga taking off. A bit of white sauce in that one. But he's just trying to get anything he can get. There's 16 minutes left, and he still needs a kind of high-scoring wave, so he's pushing through that, deciding to roll off the section and going for a make, which is probably a pretty wise decision because the other section didn't offer that much. So you kind of, like I was going back to what I was saying about El Rolo's, like to do a nice clean El Rolo in these conditions is a pretty strategic move. You've got a high chance of making that maneuver, and you land before the lip and in front of the lip, so you can kind of ride out of it. In heavy waves, it's definitely a good maneuver, a choice of maneuver to do versus a backflip or something like that, where you have a tendency to land under the section, and the whitewasher will just kill you and sink you straight away. So it's not just about doing the move, it's actually about holding on to that move and making sure you pop out for the judges to see and count it as a make. So you got to look at every section and decide, hey, am I going to get, how much air am I going to get off this? Am I going to be able to clear the section and all that? So going after the section, you pretty much got the choice of, like, say, 5 to 10 moves. And most of the time the guys are choosing rolls because it is kind of heavy out there and unpredictable as well. And here we've got Alex, like, showing that in true effect, how unpredictable it is. Look at all these chops. He's pretty much riding 3 waves on that wave with all the chop that's going through it, and decides to do a nice clean air rolo. Like I said, that's a smart choice of maneuver right there. If he had done a backflip, I doubt he would have landed it. and I don't think the judges would have counted as a make. And then just gets blasted in the end, but that doesn't matter. Alex is a really interesting cat. He's 23 years old, weighs 77 kilos, from the Basque country, and he's Basque through and through. He loves the Basque region, and he's
They
always
have
got
that
the
fierce
Euskadi flag
blood.
up. Yeah. Oh,
have-
yeah, you got to watch out, mate.
The fierce blood from the
Yeah.
Basque country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see how much those guys get behind their culture and their kind of whole lifestyle there. Unate is the same. The girl's last year's world women's champion. She's right behind being Basque, and she's always in full support of it and stuff like that. A lot of people want to get a separatist kind of thing going on up there. I'm going to stay out of those political issues for the time being.
I was
I
waiting.
can't-
You're digging and digging. But you know what? Look, the Basque crew, Eunate, Alex Uranga, they're just one of many European riders coming onto the world tour scene and ready to, dominate. And it's
right.
showing right here with Alex Uranga trying to come back in to
And-
the mix.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
No, go. Do
Yeah,
it.
so then we got Dave Winchester. He got the score for that last one. He obviously got a 7.
Oh.
Did he get a 7 for that? Yeah, he got a 7-point ride
Wow.
for that roll. So that's a really nice score. And Chase, like I said, didn't better his 5.75. Kalani got a 6 for that. Unfortunately, if Winnie didn't catch that last roll wave, he would have moved up into second place. But because Winnie got that last roll wave, he managed to get up into the lead, and Kalani still remained in third place. So now Kalani needs a 7.14 to advance, and that is quite a tough score in these conditions. You have to do something quite nice. Well, we saw Winnie's roll before. That was quite a clean, big roll, and he only got a 7 for that, so he needs to do something a little bit better than that. And then we got Alex Uranga, who got a 4.53 for his last El Rolo, so currently in fourth place. The reason, if the people back home want to know why Alex got a lower score on that wave, it's because where he actually did the roll was further in. He took a lot longer to get up to the section. And so the judges kind of deemed that as being less of a wave quality and therefore less of a score. So these are kind of things that you need to know when you're competing, is what the judges are actually looking for. You can't just surf the way you want to surf. Every surf you need to surf to a criteria. And the criteria is that bigger waves score more, and nice clean maneuvers always score the best. And if you're stuck in the white source like that wave right there, if you take off on a wave like that and you do a move, you're not going to get a massive score because unfortunately the white source no one really likes, and it's not really displaying bodyboarding to its true nature. So, yeah, that's kind of what the judge is looking for there, Manny. How do you find drop needs? Is it kind of the same in your drop need competitions that you go in, mate?
They actually have to look for a couple of little detail things,
Yeah.
rail control, rail-to-rail maneuvers, and it's a little bit more detailed when it comes to just you're looking at more of a turns than anything. But
Right, yeah.
Again,
Because you guys do use the rail a lot more than what we would, really, wouldn't you?
ladies and gentlemen, Ben Player giving you the inside scoops here in round number 1, heat number 4.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Thank you all for tuning in. This is Manny V with Ben Player coming to you from the Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, Uzek.com, and yes, Net, our internet provider. Ryan, we know you're tuning in from Australia. Marcelo, Santiago, Chile, down the beach. Spears Harrington also tuning in. Look at this bomb. Can he come out of that? Is that going to stay? Oh, wait a second. I thought it was done, but he opted to go for a big roll. Can he pull it off? No. But that was big. Ben, what do you have to tell this kid? Cade Wood has been watching every event from day number 1, but it's 2:17 in the morning.
Yep.
What do you have to tell him to stay awake?
Mate, get some coffee into you and go big like Alex Uranga is about to go on this
doctor.
one. That was big. That was a nice El Rolo. Comes cleanly off the bottom. Judges love that. Do they count that as a make? I don't think they do.
Ah, look at that.
Jeez. Yeah, so mate, get the hell into some of that coffee. 2:17 a.m. Cade Wood, or you can always stay up with a girlfriend and use it as a good excuse to try and tune her a little bit. Yeah, babe, we need to stay up and watch this comp.
Exactly. There you go.
No, I've never done that. Seriously.
All right, we do have a standing in the rafters coming in after Ben Player for heat number 5. We do have Andrew Lester, so stay tuned. Alex Uranga, let's take another look.
Yeah, so like I said, he comes cleanly off this bottom. Good rail control to get through all those bumps and goes straight up into the section. Goes through the lip and does a nice big extended roll. Tries to flatten himself out. I think the judges will count that as a make because he pops out there for a little second and just gets gubbed right at the end there. But that's a nice wave. He needed a 8.6 in order to move up into second place. Goes for a claim afterwards too. Come on, mate. Yeah, come on, mate.
I think he was just giving a peace sign saying, hey, I did pull that off. Make sure you count that as a complete.
I'm only teasing, guys.
All right, so Dave
Hi,
Winchester giving a
Hi.
signal to give me a time, give me the scores, give me everything you got.
Oh, I thought he was just waving at us.
I think he knew you were in the commentators booth. Hey, Benny, thanks for the props.
Yeah.
So Spears Harrington always tuning in from the Big Island. So Dave Winchester now in that little rip current on the outside. All the scores are starting to drop in. 9 minutes, 43 seconds remaining. Round number 1, heat number 4 currently out in the water. You're looking at Dave Winchester, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, Dave Winchester in the lead and Chase O'Leary in second place. Kalani Latanzi in third place and Alex Ranga in fourth place. The scores still haven't dropped from that last exchange of waves, unfortunately. But I dare say we're going to see some big scores coming through for that roll of Urungas. And still yet to see whether Kalani got counted as a make for his barrel to roll attempt. That was very, very high performance riding to be able to roll through that end section the way he did. I don't think the judges
Look
would
at
have
these
seen it as a
things
make.
coming in.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. It looks like a little mini mountain.
We've
We've got mountains all around. We've got mountains out to sea, mountains all around the back of us here.
The tree's getting barreled right there on the foreground.
Yes, the scores did just
There
drop.
it is.
So Kalani got a 5.25 for that barrel to roll that he didn't make. And then Alex Urunga got, did he just get an 8.13? Oh my goodness, he was close to getting that score he needed. Unfortunately, only pushes him up into third place, and Dave Winchester is still in the lead with Chase O'Leary in second place. So Alex Urunga only needed, I think, an 8.33 or something like that going into that last wave, and he almost got it. So he
now he's chasing a number 5, a score of a 5 to get into that second place spot. Kalani,
on numero Cinco.
he is looking for a 7.14 for that second place spot. Again, non-elimination round out here in the first round. First and second going to round 3. Third and fourth going into round number 2 into an elimination round. So Dave Winchester looking really good out there. I mean, he's gotten so close to becoming world champion back in 2009, right behind Jeff Hubbard and coming in second on the world rankings. But he's been looking very strong throughout the beginning of this tour 2012. And we know Alex Urunga, he is on the hunt right now, trying to get out of that third place position to avoid going into round number 2. Alex Urunga winning the Reunion Pro back in 2011.
Yep, with a broken scapula or collarbone. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, blitzed it. Definitely, I love to see brave guys like that. You know, in the face of fear and pain, and just kind of pulling through and getting a first place like that against the world's best is a massive feat, and he did it. So that's great. And he only needs a 5, so I'm sure he's capable of doing that. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Kalani Latanzi needing a 7.14, and Kalani lucked out, unfortunately, to Dallas's singer mishap down in Santiago, Chile. Dallas breaking his foot or fracturing something down in his feet area, and that opened up the door for the 2011 Latino American champion Kalani Latanzi to sneak in there.
That's right, yeah. That's a big shame about Dallas. He was surfing really good in Chile, the event just previous to this, and decided to go down to the Flow Rider in Santiago and have a bit of fun in between the two competitions, which was a 10-day break, and he actually did get a break and broke his ankle in 2 places. Had to get pins put in with it's graphic if you see these X-rays of it. Like the pins go up pretty far up into his leg, and
damn,
I feel really sorry for him, but hoping for a speedy recovery for you, mate. And I'm sure you're very capable of getting through, and we're looking at developing, injury wildcards for the next year for the IBA World Tour. So, yeah, so he looks to be getting one of those. And here we got Chase trying to increase his lead or second place by trying to get more than a 5.75 on that El Rolo to try and extend his second place from Alex Urunga, who now needs a 5 to catch Chase, which isn't much in these conditions. Just to put it into context for you, if Chase probably had to handle that roll, that probably would have been a 5. So that's all that Alex really needs to do in order to catch Chase. So it's a very tight position to be in. And if I was Chase, I'd be paddling as hard as I could, like he is right there, to get back out and try and build on my second place. It's tough though. Like, although the waves are kind of dropping a little bit right now, and it's getting a bit more manageable, it's still really tough to paddle out. It's like 20 meters from shore, but it's the hell of a 20-meter run. It's like Gallipoli or something like that in World War II. It's tough. It's really tough. You got bombs going off everywhere.
All right, Ben, you got the mic. Any words you want to say to anybody watching back home?
G'day, my mother. Good day, my brother. Good day, my papa, my stepdad. G'day, everyone out there. And thanks for tuning in and watching this competition at Itacoatiara. Let's go over that again. How do you pronounce it? It's Itacoatiara.
There you go.
Itacoatiara.
How long
It's
did
quite
that
hard.
take you?
Oh, mate, I've been messing it up every day still, even though I know how to pronounce it. It's a tough one. Is it a native name that, or is it Portuguese?
No, it's a native. It's a native name. Actually, Rafael Pimentel sent us a message saying that's a native word and it means painted rock. And look at Dave Winchester painting
this
a
is
line
nice
on this
round.
one.
Painting that line, looking for a nice.
Oh
You
no!
can still have fun, and I love that about Dave Winchester. He's always having fun and not ever letting the pressure get to him too much. And here we got Alex Urunga looking for a 5. This is a nice shaped wave. He's going to get a tube. Looking for a roll.
Oh, can he pull
Can't
it off?
get
Can he
stuck
pull it
up
off?
in it? Mate, that sucks. He didn't pull it off.
So what? Why didn't he pull it off? Was it the landing?
Just the landing, yeah. He didn't get far enough through the lip and would have landed with the volume of the lip on his back, and that just would have pushed him straight to the bottom of the ocean. And there's nothing to do once you're in that position on the bottom of the ocean. You're screwed. You try and kick back up as much as you can and get back out of there, but you can't. And you know, world titles been lost with performances like that, where you know guys just get sunk at the last second and don't get the score they need. And there's only 4 minutes left in this heat, and the guys are kind of winding up the clock. I mean, what Winnie's kind of looking for is he's got that last one, and he's just probably looking to hold off the guys. And Chase O'Leary's in second place, looking to
Nice.
extend his second. Ooh, that is a nice one actually.
Oh, he
Chase
pressed the
O'Leary.
eject button right there on that roll right there.
And then we got Winnie having a bit of a paddle out the back. Everyone's getting pretty crazy. Like what always happens in the end of the heat, everyone starts getting a little bit desperate and tries to get anything they can get their hands on because they know time's running away from them. With 3.5 minutes left in this heat, the guys are starting to want to get any score they can get. Ultimately, like Chase wants to try and keep Alex Urunga off and Kalani out from getting any further scores, so he retains his second place. Because first and second actually skip next round and go into round 3.
Yep.
And third and fourth place getters go into round 2 and have a bit of a duel off to see who can go into round 3. It's although this round doesn't seemingly seem to matter so much for the competitors, it still matters a lot. Like guys still want to make it and skip the next round because you know you want to try and get as far in the event as what you can every heat.
And you save energy.
Yeah, exactly. And like we saw that with Dave Winchester in Chile, who, along with a bunch of other guys, hang on, we got Alex having a bit of a paddle. That's a nice, clean face. Come on, mate. He's going to have to flip that. That's a nice. If he manages to roll this again, this could be dangerous for Chase O'Leary. He does.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see what the judges decide to give that. But that's nice. And his green slick popping through the white sauce. He's surprised he hasn't chucked out a bit of a claim right there because he probably thinks he's got the score. Looking at the camera as he kind of sends his way in. So it's a little bit of a cocky little look at the camera. But
So the advantages and the advantages of having a bright slick.
yes, totally. And it's something that all competitors take into consideration.
Slick bottom.
Yeah, slick bottom because you want to shine out from whatever the watercolor is. And here we got Alex's last wave. Takes off nice and cleanly. Nice clean face. Gets good line into it. Goes straight off the roll. Nice spit on that one. Yeah, the judge is going to like that roll because it was completely out of the lip.
Clean.
And then does a little milky roll on the inside there just to finish it off and give the judges what they want. Dare say that would have pushed him up, but I'm not a judge, so we'll wait and see what they have to say. But yeah, definitely you want to try and skip this round if you can because it does save energy, and we got to see that with Dave in Chile in the last event where he's probably surfed half the amount of times of a lot of guys because he was just on fire and just kept winning all of his heats and managed to skip a bunch of rounds that everyone else had to surf. And so there we got it. Alex Urunga. We just heard over the loudspeaker. He did get
look
the
at
score.
that.
He got second. He got a 6.25. Moves up in. No, got a 5.95. Moves up into first place, taking Dave Winchester down. Dave's now in second place. Chase O'Leary in third, and Kalani in fourth place. Time's running away from us. We only got a minute left. Chase needs to get 5.87 in the dying minute of the heat to move up.
Anything's possible. We've seen it in the final of Arica, the Arica Chilean Challenge. Anything could happen. Chase
And
O'Leary,
here we go. Here. He's looking for a score. Come on, Chase. What do you got, buddy? Far out, mate. A bit of milk sauce on that one. Not giving you what you needed, but you know, there's still time. We've got 30 seconds. Get back out there, mate. Yeah, far out. That was amazing. Like, you see so many heats going down like that where it just comes down to the wire and the whole thing just gets interrupted, and there's this massive changes. And that's the worst thing about being a competitor is like, yeah, you think you're doing good. Like if you're in the top of the heat and you think you're doing good, and in the last couple of seconds you get bumped out, and he's like, oh, why didn't I catch that wave earlier on in the heat and try and build on that score? And here we got Chase like going for anything to get his hands on. Unfortunately, not getting what he needed to get the score he needed. And now we've got a countdown of 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. And Kalani is going for the abort right there. So congratulations.